warm welcome to join us for this edition of AIN in English News, and I'm Abdul Ahad Mohammadi. A UN survey has found that more than half of Afghans polled see the national police as corrupt, though their overall reputation is improving. The survey released Tuesday indicates only 20% of those surveyed think police are ready to keep order without international troops. Expanding the Afghan police and army is key to NATO's plans to turn over security by the end of 2014. Still, the percentage of people calling the Afghan police corrupt dropped by 7 points from last year in the annual survey. NATO says trends are moving in the right direction. NATO is committed to plan to withdraw combat troops from Afghanistan by the end of 2014, the alliance chief said Monday after France decided to end its fighting role a year earlier. Under the plan agreed by leaders of the 28-nation alliance in Lisbon, NATO began handing over security responsibility to Afghan forces last year with the goal of completing the transition by the end of 2014. Rasmussen did not directly address French president's announcement that his country would bring his forces home next year after 4 unarmed French troops were killed by Afghan soldiers. President Barack Obama on Monday admitted that U.S. drone aircraft have struck Taliban and Al-Qaeda targets within Pakistan, operations that until now had not been officially acknowledged. When asked about the use of drones by his administration in a chat with web users on Google Plus and YouTube, Obama said a lot of these strikes have been in Pakistan's federally administrated tribal areas, explaining that many strikes were carried out on Al-Qaeda operatives in places where the capacities of that military in that country may not be able to target them. Obama confirmed that Pakistan's lawless tribal zone was a target. Lawmakers on the U.S. Senate Banking Committee plan to vote on a new round of sanctions targeting Iran's energy sector, aimed at choking off funds they suspect Iran uses to develop nuclear weapons. The committee released details of its 61-page bipartisan bill late on Monday, and lawmakers will consider the measures and vote on them at a hearing on Thursday. The page comes on the heels of tough new embargoes by European nations and new banking sanctions that the Obama administration is beginning to implement, a package signed into law on December 31. 25 of the EU's 27 member states have agreed to join a physical treaty to enforce budget discipline. The Czech Republic and the UK refused to sign up. UK Prime Minister David Cameron said his government would act if the treaty threatened UK interest. We still have legal concerns about the use of EU institutions in enforcing the fiscal treaty, he added. The sides cited constitutional reasons for their refusal. French President Nicolas Sarkozy said the goal is much closer coordination of budget policy across EU to prevent excessive debts accumulating. A stolen ancient Afghan artifact dating back to AD 200 was recently returned by Germany to Afghanistan. The pre-Islamic sculpture believed to be looted during Afghanistan's bloody civil war has been brought back to Kabul's National Museum. 8 figures, one missing a torso and others without noses, make up the 30-centimeter high limestone antiquity from the 2nd century AD, a reminder of Afghanistan's rich classical past as a confluence of cultures on the crossroads of Asia. Endemic corruption, poverty, and today's climate of uncertainty in the background of 30 years of conflict mean even new discoveries do not reach cultural authorities. At least 6 people, including the wife and daughter of a Balochistan assembly lawmaker, were killed in separate incidents of gunfire in Pakistan's southern city of Karachi on Tuesday. The wife, daughter, and driver of the sitting member of Provincial Assembly, Bakhtiyar Dumki, from the town of Sibi in the southwestern Balochistan province, were killed on their way home. Karachi has a long history of violence, and ethnic, religious, and sectarian disputes and political draws can often explode into battles engulfing entire neighborhoods. As street fighting raged near the Syrian capital, a diplomatic battle loomed in the United Nations where the Arab League, backed by the West, wants the Security Council to act on an Arab peace plan that would call for President Bashar al-Assad to leave power. The fighting on Monday subsided by nightfall as members of the anti-Assad Free Syrian Army pulled out to the edge of the capital suburbs. Activists said, adding that they believed 19 civilians and 6 Free Army members had been killed. And that's all for now. Thanks for being with us.